Men, listen, you've been cut open by loss and left with the raw ache of a life that no longer fits. That empty space, that silence in your bed, the way the world seems thinner now. They're not failures. They're the strike that wakes the anvil. Breakups don't make you weak. They reveal what you haven't yet forged. You will hear soft voices telling you to move on, to let go, to take your time. That is comfortable advice for comfortable people. You don't want comfort. You want purpose. You want power. You want to take the fried out wreckage of a relationship and turn it into the fuel that launches a new life. Your heartbreak is an asset if you treat it like one. So here's the first rule. Convert your pain into signal, not noise. Anger is a compass. Loneliness is clarity. Suffering is data. If you let them run your life, they'll demolish you. If you use them as inputs, they will teach you where to invest yourself next. Think of love like Bitcoin. Love, raw, intoxicating, volatile, arrives like a pump in the market. Your heart leaps. You imagine an all-time high. Shared mornings, agreements in whispers, plans that feel permanent. You stack those moments like coins acquired cheaply, thinking you found a permanent store of value. You leak capital into it, time, attention, identity, and it feels right. Then volatility hits. Small disagreements, different priorities, the market of life reacts. Price drops happen. You panic sell your dignity for reassurance. You beg. You attempt to manipulate outcomes because losing scares you more than the truth. Maybe the relationship dies, maybe it's shredded slowly. Either way, you wake up poor in yourself, watching the charts of your own worth fall. But Bitcoin taught a lesson. The short-term roller coaster doesn't negate intrinsic value. The panic sellers lose everything. The hodlers with conviction and a plan survive. So do you, if you stop trading your standards for temporary comfort. Here's the medicine you need. First, revalue what you own. After a breakup, your identity is stripped to basics. You might mourn a future that never existed. Good. That mourning reveals what you secretly cared about. Now ask, was that love an investment in your life or a debt that consumed it? Hold everything to the ledger. Write down what the relationship gave you and what it took. Be ruthless with the audit. Second, rebuild your balance sheet. People throw money at recovery like it buys healing. It doesn't. You rebuild by acquiring assets that compound value. Skills, health, reputation, discipline. Learn a marketable skill. Train your body until your reflection is a problem for the old you. Show up in places that matter. Volunteer for the hard assignments. When your utility increases, so does your value. Wealth follows work, respect follows competency, and worth follows output. Third, let anger be your engine, not your enemy. Anger is the raw energy that can either burn you or power you. Channel it. Use the heat of betrayal to fuel disciplined action. Instead of hurling curses into the void, spend that energy in the gym, on your ledger, on the books you should have read, on the side project you kept postponing. When anger is disciplined, it becomes a relentless engine for progress. Fourth, accept the volatility. Life is not a linear graph. The market of human connection is noisy. There are pumps and dumps, bull runs and crashes. Your job is not to control the market, it is to control your position sizing. Don't bet your life on a single asset. Keep multiple streams of meaning. Maintain friendships, cultivate craft, build financial runway. When one position collapses, the others stabilize you. Fifth, HODL on principles. When your world is shaky, the only thing that should be non-negotiable is your code. What do you stand for? Integrity, self-respect, work ethic? Make that the bedrock. People who bend and grovel for affection lose the only leverage they ever had, their standards. Standards are power. They make you rare. Rarity commands attention. Attention yields options. Sixth, upgrade your environment. Poisonous habits and toxic contacts are the leverage of failure. The ex who tweets your worst nights, unfollow. The bars and apps that tempt you into self-pity, delete them. Your grid of inputs shapes your forecasts. Surround yourself with people who operate at higher levels, people who expect more from life and who will not tolerate your excuses. Seventh, call the fear what it is, a liar. Fear will tell you that loneliness is death, that being alone means you failed. It's wrong. Solitude is a refinery. Real men learn to be comfortable alone so they never accept a life beneath their standards again. Use solitude to think, plan, and execute. A lone man with a map and a fire can outwork entire crowds of confused people doubled over in comfort. Eighth, make suffering purposeful. There's a distinction between suffering to punish and suffering to train. Punishing yourself with blame is masochism. Training yourself through hardship is craftsmanship. Choose training. Schedule cold showers. Wake up earlier than you want. Put on the accountability armor and do the work you said you would do. Pain without meaning is wasted. Pain with intent is transformation. Now the Bitcoin metaphor again, because this is where your thinking must change. Bitcoin's price is volatile, but its thesis rests on scarcity, on being a decentralized store of value outside the corruptible game. Your heart is likewise scarce and valuable when you don't dilute it. Too many men water down what they are by conferring status to anyone who buys their attention. That is inflation of self. Deflate your supply by being scarce, by being selective. Scarcity creates demand. Demand creates options. Options create power. I want you to imagine your life as a portfolio. Each relationship, each habit, each job is a holding. Most people treat relationships like disposable tokens and pleasures like dividends to be spent recklessly. You will think like an investor. You will allocate capital only to things that produce long-term returns. Character, skill, resilience, and meaningful bonds. When the breakup comes, and for many it will, you will not collapse. You will audit the damage, rebalance, and double down on the blue chip assets of your life. You will HODL on your standards, you will compound your work, you will let small wins accumulate until the momentum is undeniable. People will notice, not because you begged them to, but because competence broadcasts itself. Let me be blunt. This requires discipline. It requires nights when you do not want to train, but you train. It requires mornings when you do not want to read, but you consume the book that expands your mind. It requires conversations you don't want to have with mentors and an uncomfortable willingness to accept criticism and improve. It requires you to be honest with yourself about where you were reckless and where you were cowardly. If you want revenge, don't waste it on pettiness. Use your comeback as proof, not to spite, but to demonstrate capability. Build a life so stable and so valuable that reunion would be your favor, not theirs. Let your evolution be the answer to the question of their loss. There is power in controlled rage. It is the difference between a man who rages and collapses and a man who channels that force into laser-focused execution. Controlled rage is a vector. Point it at a target and move. Your target is not petty validation, it's mastery. Mastery of skill, of finance, of discipline, of influence, and of your inner life. Now, practical steps, not feel good, not platitude, real steps you can do today. Balance sheet now, write what you lost and what you gained. Make choices based on this audit. Skill stack, pick one marketable skill and commit 90 days of ruthless practice. No excuses, no half effort. Body, commit to 3 strength sessions a week and a walk every day. Sweat clears the fog. Solitude schedule, 1 weekly day with no social media, no distractions. Use it to think, plan, write. Financial runway, automate 20% savings, protect your freedom before you chase status, circle upgrade. Identify one person who elevates you and meet them this week. Give value before asking. Respect your standards. Create a short list of non-negotiables and enforce them every day. Do not expect this to be quick. Bitcoin didn't become a narrative overnight. Fortunes were built by those who held during the storm. Your transformation is the same. The lonely nights will reappear, the doubt will whisper. When it does, recall this: pain is temporary when invested, wasted when indulged. Invest. And one final truth: love will come after you've learned to value yourself. The next relationship will not arrive because you chased it, it will arrive because you became an asset. You will meet someone who recognizes value because you lived like someone who has it. That is the real victory. So rise, use the pain, audit the damage, HODL your standards. Build like a man who understands compound interest in life, not just in wallets. Replace whining with work. Replace nostalgia with strategy. Replace self-pity with training. Your loneliness is not the end, it is the hammer. And you, if you are willing, will be the blacksmith. Make your comeback inevitable.